First, let it be said that I'm not a doctor and nothing that I say here constitutes any kind of medical advice. I'm just reading the news. Second, the thing I do know for a fact is that there's no link whatsoever between what we're about to read and something that the entire world was forced to get involved in. Yeah. Okay, young people are more likely to die of heart attacks post-COVID, study finds. But why? Why? It's so strange. I mean, I've known people that days after a certain medication that they took, yeah, one of them lost an eye, the other one has a forever heart condition at age 20, but 20 is kind of old, right? It's fairly typical that healthy, thin, athletic 20-year-old students in college have all of a sudden heart conditions that were not there day before, right? Okay, it's kind of difficult. Let's go on. A recent study found that heart attacks in people aged 25 to 44 increased by 30% compared to the expected number over the first 2 years of COVID-19 pandemic. Fucking 30%. It is insane.
For emergency crews like this one, responding to heart problems is a matter of life and death.
We've just been called out to a report of a cardiac arrest at convalescent hospital.
Since the COVID-19 pandemic began, LA County paramedics say they've been busier than ever with calls like this one, transporting a cardiac arrest patient. County health officials have tracked notable increases in cardiac arrests and heart attacks since the pandemic began, and experts say it's part of a broader trend. A national study from Cedars-Sinai Hospital shows that deaths related to heart attacks increased across every age group since the spring of 2020. But the group that saw the biggest increase isn't who you might think.
Young people are obviously not really supposed to die of heart attack.
But the relative...
Really, lady with a lab coat? Are you sure about that? Is this some of your science? What? It's fairly... Come on. 20-year-olds dropping dead because of heart attacks every day, back in my day.
Increase in heart...
You would smoke 5 packs of cigarettes by the time you were 12, drinking whiskey in your baby bottle. No? Not at all? Okay.
Attack-associated deaths among 25 to 44-year-olds was a staggering 30%. More than the increase in middle and older age groups, which ranged between 15 and 20%. Paramedic Romeo Robles noticed an uptick with each COVID surge in the South LA community he serves.
Yeah, surprisingly, like people my age, where we would find them in cardiac arrest.
So why the spike in heart problems?
Why could it possibly be? Okay.
Along with each pandemic wave. Dr. Susan Chang, a co-author of the Cedars-Sinai study, is concerned about the COVID connection.
There are a lot of things that COVID can do to the cardiovascular system. It appears to be able to increase the likelihood of blood clot formation. It seems to stir up inflammation in the blood vessels. It seems to also cause, in some people, an overwhelming stress that can also cause...
Okay, now that's strange because I was also reading this from the British Heart Foundation that says, do COVID-19 vaccines cause myocarditis and pericarditis? There is a link between... Oh. Okay. Yes, super rare. I mean, 30% is rare enough, right? It's not like if it's 100%. 100% would be crazy. 30%, nah. I mean, she's kind of getting close. She's kind of there in the ballpark of why. Why could it possibly be? Right. An infection that is barely, I mean, for most of us that have gone through it, an infection that is barely noticeable at all, among how many things does your body fight all the time? And often you don't even notice it. It's only rarely that you have like a high fever, right? If you have a flu, a strong flu, right? A type A, for example, that is like the bird flu. That was pretty damn bad. If you had it, my oldest son had that back in the day, and that left a mark. That was a tough couple days. And even years later, when getting blood tested, they would say, yeah, you went through some heavy shit here with this thing. Yeah, that was intense. But you notice it. I mean, There was no vaccine for bird flu or any of these things, type A or whatever the hell it was. You just had a horrible couple of days with very high fever, and you had to keep that under control. But this COVID thing, it was, I mean, my entire family went through it, and none of us, I mean, maybe one or two of us had a little bit of a fever for a few hours, not even a full day. I mean, it's far less than your typical flu or cold, not even that. So why is it that you would compromise messing with something like this? Well, labs have to make money, I guess, so yeah.
A spike in blood pressure.
Experts are still working to figure out why young people are so impacted. But Dr. Chang says it may be related to higher viral load exposure or an excess immune response in stronger immune systems. Studies show
Right, so the younger you are, the healthier you are, then the less suspicious it is. That's kind of that's not true, is it? I mean, we know, I mean, we've been told by science, these are now the science people, right? So the science people have been telling us all along there was the older, the sick, overweight, people that were more vulnerable. Those were the ones that, but now it's, no, if you're super fit, young, and healthy, then you're okay with having 30% more. That doesn't make any sense, does it? No. Anyway, I just thought that was very interesting. Folks, stay alert. Think for yourselves. Understand that for these companies, we are just, we're just zombies hooked to the fucking matrix. That's what we are. We're just like a light bulb. Remember in the movie? Yeah, we're just a light bulb or a dollar sign mostly for them. That's all they think about. See you next time. Take care.